all that you just said doesn't add up because, but the thing about it, what you just said about the temperatures, about the water and everything, that's accurate. So people
It's
need to
very
understand,
accurate. So that's
because
why
the
I'm
thing
like,
about
she
it,
did
people need to
not drown in the
understand,
bathtub.
because it, like, all that stuff that happened to Whitney, it can't happen overnight. It gotta be more to the story than it ever should, because
What
people's gotta
I
tell the
think
story.
happened is I think Clyde had her killed. However, I do think that she was doing drugs the night before because it was the Grammys. That's what all the celebrities did. So I think
Yes,
she did get litty titty, and I do think that she disposed of those people. However, I don't think that those people would have came back on their own accord because Whitney was still a big deal. So I
exactly.
think that Clive knew about this shit, or Ray J, or Brandy, or somebody. I don't even want to say that it was directly Clive, but he was involved because he wanted her dead. So
Yeah,
I think because it was convenient that Whitney just made Brandy, like, Whitney gave Brandy her flowers and just basically like handpicked her as the next it girl when they did that Cinderella shit. So
yes.
it would be very
That's my favorite
convenient.
movie, by the
It would be
way.
very convenient for Brandy and for Ray J, low key, for Whitney to get out of the way, and it'll be convenient for Clive because he makes royalties because she didn't own her masters. So I think that Whitney was by herself in the room, and I think the assistant knew, and the assistant was told to get the fuck out, or you're gonna die too. And I think that Whitney was murdered because she literally got her ass beat, and I think they beat her ass, and I think they threw her ass in the tub, and she couldn't fight like that because I do think she was high, but I don't think
Yes.
she overdosed. I think she had drugs in her system, obviously, because it was there. However, I do think that she was murdered. I do not think that, even as soon as they said that the tub was still 95 degrees 6 hours later, and I sat there and I thought, I was like, even when I would hit my pen and I had weed in my system, I was like, when I would get in if that shit was hot, that shit was hot.
I just feel like someone or
She was
somebody knows
murdered.
something. I'm not gonna say who's pointing the finger or
Right. I don't
whatever.
know who did it, but
Somebody
Homegirl
knows
was murdered.
something,
It wasn't
and
accidental.
somebody knows something. Let's just like go off topic.
I let
Like,
her rock at first, though,
right,
but then
let
her daughter, 3 years later, died the same exact way.
right. Let's just go off topic. How, like, they almost found Biggie's killer. There was a detective. My mom was telling me this, and there was a detective that almost tracked down the killer.
If they
But
can
they
find a
but they
motherfucker that ran a red light, they can find someone that
No,
killed a
they
celebrity.
right. They killed the detective
Yep,
before they killed the detective because he almost caught the killer. So when somebody knows something almost caught it, they always get the good guy because they don't want nobody
exactly.
to
Fun
air that
fact is,
out.
when COVID first came out, there was a melanated queen that found the cure, and her ass ended up dead too.
I'm
Like,
just
I'm
saying.
just saying, I'm not. That's all I'm gonna say about that COVID thing, because you know how they feel about COVID, and when you post it online. But I will say that y'all need to open your eyes. If a
Yes.
detective in a case dies, or if you read a report and shit don't add up and it's a celebrity, it's because they don't want it to add up.
I like my mom always
And
said.
people think, you need to think about these celebrities. Number one thing is, my number one question for them always is, do they own their masters? Mariah Carey, also, they've tried to cancel Mariah Carey 12 times, but they can't because Mariah Carey owns her masters, people.
And Mariah's that girl. So,
Mariah's
like,
that
let's
girl. Mariah played it smart because she owned her masters.
exactly. And
And so
yeah,
when the CEO, when she divorced that CEO dude and he tried to cancel her, he can't stop her from writing, though, like he can these other artists, because he's the one that told her to make sure she owned her masters. So she owns her masters. So Whitney, if Whitney would have owned her masters, they probably wouldn't have murdered her because they wouldn't have got any profit from her. They would have just killed her career and would have just left it at that.
very true. I just believe at the same time, people should really look into, or not
Don't
even look
believe
into.
everything you read when it comes out in the press.
It's just, I feel like it should be common sense when it comes to celebrity. Knowing that, don't believe everything on social media or in the newspaper. Just realize common
There's
sense when
always a
you have it.
purpose as to why a celebrity is getting smeared.
And they wonder why we as melanated people or everybody else get blackballed. Because we tell the damn truth.
That
We do.
ass.
And the things about it, when we tell the damn truth, y'all wanna pick and choose, and then when we apologize or whatever, y'all wanna cry boohoo to the mother of the world because no, we tell the damn truth, and now you wanna blackball us. But we're gonna make a comeback to know what we really said, because at the same time, the people at the press or whatever, like to say Mary and Joseph wants to be like, oh, we didn't say that, it's not there, but you just blackballed us. Now look at us now, making a
So
comeback.
Bobbi Christina, was she a mourning daughter who just happened to overdose and die, or was she murdered too?
I'm gonna just say this because Bobby Christina,
Do you
she
want to hear the facts of the case?
no, I want to hear the facts afterwards. What I gotta
Okay,
say
so
because
tell me
knowing
your
that,
thoughts, because I know
I
you know.
I just feel like okay, we all know Bobby felt loved her mother. She really did.
Obsessed
She
with
worked
her
the ground she
mother.
worked on. At the same time, we all know Bobby did drugs. She smoked cigarettes too.
And we all know that Whitney also partakes in drugs with her daughter.
And you know what's
And
crazy?
I'm
I
not
don't
gonna
even.
hate because
I'm
I
not
know
the
all
things
y'all
about this
listening. Y'all done this shit, so don't judge Whitney for it. We're
exactly.
just saying this is what happened.
I'm just saying. At the
I
same
remember there
time,
were articles all the time where they were dragging Whitney, Bobby, and Whitney were walking down the street smoking
they not even yo.
cigarettes, partying,
And
having a
they
good time. But also Madonna let her kids smoke, and y'all let her get away with that too.
exactly. And the things about it, they not even drinking just Bobby and Whitney. They're drinking the whole family, even the father. Let's talk
Yep,
about it.
Bobby. We're getting to Bobby right after we talk about Miss Bobby, the Queen.
Yes, and the things about it, let's just say this: Bobby was a sweet human being. She,
Genuinely 22 years old, regardless of what she
when
did.
her,
That is
yep,
sad.
when her mother passed away.
Whitney's only baby.
Yes, when Whitney passed away, and Bobby really couldn't hold herself together, which I can understand because every child's not ready for their parents to pass on.
Nope, and her mom was already born a superstar. Like Bobby was getting drug
Exactly.
onto the stage because when he was like, "No, y'all gonna
Yes.
look at my
Yes.
baby, and
I'm just.
you gonna see your melanated mama winning. You gonna see this. This is excellence right here." She
I
made
just.
sure her daughter
I,
was in the forefront at all times, which
right.
is a blessed curse.
I just feel like Bobby was going through so much and she couldn't take it no more.
And her
I don't
mom's dead
feel
ass
like
dying, and no one sat there and acknowledged the fact that yes, Whitney, like regardless, like when she passed away, the way that Whitney passed away, y'all were dragging her. This was somebody's mother.
yes,
So
and I
while
feel
she was
like
grieving about her mom, y'all weren't letting her grieve because y'all were busy
exactly,
calling her mom an
exactly.
addict.
I just feel like she was pressured too much into into everything. I feel
Because she had
like
eyes on her from the get go. Even she, fun fact, y'all, Whitney was pregnant with Bobbi Kristina in the I'm Every Woman music video.
and that's let me just say
She
that
had eyes on her since the womb.
and let me just say this: when it comes to "I'm Every Woman," phenomenally, we give a face and body. I feel like Winnie came out with that song for a reason. I feel like, in my perspective,
That song was beautiful.
I feel like
Whitney's cover, excuse me. It was already beautiful with Shaka, but Whitney's like that was beautiful.
right, that's
Arts.
Shaka Khan, but we're gonna get into Whitney.
Yeah.
I feel like "I'm Everyone" when it comes to Whitney. I feel like she put it out there for us as not in gay people, but I feel like for everybody that can vogue or anything because Whitney made what it was and what it is, and she said what she said. I'm every woman phenomenally, and I will be that woman. I will be that girl. So I just feel like at the same time,
And when she sang it, like the women that listened to that,
yes.
they knew.
After like when Whitney passed
She took
away,
me to church, dropped me off at the cookout, and then picked me up and took me back to the night session.
exactly. I just feel like when it comes to Whitney, it's just like I love how she does her music. But let's go on to Bobbi. I feel like Bobbi was going through so much. Y'all was not cutting her slack, and it feels like at the same time, Bobbi really was hurting. She missed her mother. The thing that I will feel the
I
same
get
way.
it too, because my fiance, he lost his mom, and his
Yes.
sister lost their mom at a young age.
Yes.
My fiance's sister was 19 years old when their mom passed away. My fiance was 22 years old when their mom passed away. I'm 26 and I still have my mother. I cannot imagine, especially if you're close to their mother like they were. I can't imagine, like
Right.
even saying that now. Like y'all don't know like what they're going through. Y'all don't know what I'm going through as the outsider. So like
Exactly.
when someone loses their parent, you don't know until you lose a parent.
Yes. I just feel like, and especially me, I have to get prepared for my father because he's sick.
And the fact that a lot of us people, especially in the melanated community, our parents, a lot of us lose parents young, and the fact that we have to prepare,
Exactly.
the fact we have to prepare is
Yes.
disgusting. So,
I just feel like you can't tell a person, oh, be prepared for the big
you can prepare,
oh.
but you will never be prepared.
Exactly. You can't tell a person unless they're fully ready. They have to
When I hear men say that they're going to prepare, it is they're going to prepare themselves not to cry like a little bitch.
exactly.
Because
I
they're
feel
going to
like
be hurting. Like even when I hear men say prepare,
right.
men's mental health, we're going to get into that in another episode, but when I hear men say prepare, it means a different thing than when women say it.
I just feel like I have to prepare myself just to get everything organized and do what I need to do because I
And
know
we're
I'm
going to
gonna
talk about this, Stuffy, but you do, but you don't. And I'm going to just leave it at that.
exactly.
Because
So
we're gonna
come to
talk about that on the outside too. Because we're not just gonna
exactly.
make this like a
So we
podcast
don't
where we're
have
not like that.
yeah,
So
we don't
we
even
need to
have to
talk about this.
we don't even have to explain what we have to say because they already know how it
Yeah,
is.
they know what we're getting at. But no,
Exactly. So
when you say prepare, I hear you and I feel for you, but you do, but you don't, and I'm gonna tell you why after we film this actually.
exactly, yeah. So back to Bobbi. I think Bobbi was really going through it, and she loved her mother. She worshipped the grass she walks on, and I feel like at the same time, people like to judge
So
a
when
book
Mama
by its
dies, do you
cover.
think she did drugs?
I think so,
I
because
do too.
but I'm not going just because that was her mother. At the same time, it just is it's already said and done. I feel like Bobbi loved her mother very dearly, and she still loves her, and she's with her as we speak on it. She's up there with her.
I
So
really hope so.
I I know so. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it because
Okay,
at the
good.
same time, a
No, I need
mother
someone to tell me I know so because like yeah.
I know so because a mother and a daughter relationship is always not
Because I'm
uncanny, but
very
it's always
empathic.
real.
So that's why when anybody dies, it hits me different because I'm very empathic. So the first thing that I go to is like, even though everyone tells me when you die you feel nothing, like what are you feeling? Are you okay in the afterlife? Like, do you know what happened? Like, are you with your loved ones? Like, I when people say that, like, and then I
Mm-hmm.
get nervous because I'm like, oh, they did drugs and they did this and that, and I'm like, what if something like, and I'm just like, I really hope because of like I blame the industry, so I really hope they do have a pleasant afterlife
Right.
because they gave us a great life.
I feel like all the greatest gave us a lot that we needed, and it's all said and done. And like for like people who like to judge a book by its cover, I feel like my mom said, go to the head, not to the tail. So at the same time, we go to
Snaps
the
for
head.
that.
We go to the head to know what we need to know. The first person that knows, not the last person that's the tail, because the tail is always the oblivious and don't even know anything.
And that's a fact.
And that's the Mary Had a Little Lamb.
Ugh, gosh, reading these. Okay. So, Bobbi died 3 years later the same way as her mother. She was
Mm-hmm.
22 years old and she knew what happened to her mom.
Yes.
Nick Gordon, her man, and I was like, no one is at him. And I wrote this before I read the article, so they were at him. So Nick Gordon was at him. That's what I wrote. That was my thoughts. Because Whitney took him in at 12 and she ended up becoming Bobby's man. So that's why I wrote Nick Gordon was at this motherfucker. And then I when I
Correction. Hold on. Correction. I feel like they put as Nick Gordon as brother and lover with
yeah, so
Bobby.
that's why I was confused.
Yeah.
Because
So
I was like, Whitney
basically,
did take him in, so technically
yeah.
that would be. But I remember they did have an entanglement. But then
Because
I
yeah.
remember I was like, that's very like,
Because I saw the reality TV show, they put him as a brother and a lover to Bobby. So we need to put both
yeah.
labels on that note because
And no
that's what
one
the segment
talked
was made.
about that because you're the first person I've ever heard bring that up, and I was thinking the same thing. So anybody, if y'all know what we're talking about, please, like, can we get some clarification?
At the same time, the clarification. I just believe it was the brother and the lover because I saw the reality TV show. That
That's
family,
a fact.
The Houston's made it very clear, and there's no
They
clarification.
made it
We
very
already
clear that he
know
was family.
he was family, brother, and lover. Let's talk about it. That's
Yep.
all I know and need to know on a daily basis.
And
Okay.
then I wrote Bobbi Brown at Nick because Bobbi Brown was at Nick. And then Bobbi Brown said that he thinks that he gave Whitney, which I don't think is true, but I think they did like do drugs all together. But I don't think that night that Whitney passed, I don't think that he was involved in that. However, it says the days before Bobbi passed that Nick Gordon knocked out Bobbi's tooth. And the day that she passed away, Bobbi was calling her a cheater, a hoe, a bitch, and then 30 minutes later, they said that the arguing stopped, and then she was found 30 minutes later in the bathtub.
I
And
feel
then
like
Nick
let them.
Gordon changed clothes. He laid him. Oh, this is all alleged, everybody. This is. I don't believe this. This sounds a little saucy, but it says that apparently Gordon changed clothes, and then he apparently laid in bed with a hoe and said that now he has a pretty white girl. And then Bobbi said that he wanted to do like a tell-all thing with Nick Gordon, but Nick Gordon passed away on December 31st, 2020 from a heroin overdose at the age of 30 before Bobbi could press him.
So I just want to say this because knowing that.
This was way more than even the Whitney one.
So
That's
basically,
I
let's
read
go
this
back
and
to
I
the
was like,
night.
okay.
Let's go back to the night Bobby passed away because
Yes.
I believe Bobby was being abused by Nick. We all know this because knowing that the way it was portrayed on TV
Yes.
is in reality check. Let's talk about that part. At the same time,
Yes.
they like people believe Nick Gordon really killed Bobby, and even I don't know if Bobby Brown believes so, but I think he's kind
He
of
does. He believes that
yes.
Nick
And the
Gordon
things
killed
about that was
Bobby.
his only daughter, his only child. So basically,
And when a kid dies, you need to point the blame to somebody, especially if it's found
exactly
as an
because
accidental
Nick
homicide. You're
Nick
gonna do digging, and you're gonna be like, you need to place it because when people grieve, you need to place the blame on somebody to get over it.
exactly
So
and
if he
Nick
was the only one associated with Bobby that Bobby knows of, Bobby as in dad that Bobby knows of, if that's the only person associated with his baby girl, he's at him
right.
because you didn't say nothing. So even if you didn't do it, why are you not saying anything? Speak up.
I just feel like somebody should have spoke up because Nick, the brother and the lover, both
It was
should have.
giving very much Brittany Murphy, how she conveniently died of pneumonia before she was
And you
allowed to
know
speak
what,
up about something.
Brittany Murphy is the girl next door. I love her too. So I just
Again, another murdered queen. We'll do an episode on her too.
exactly we
Because
need
she had
to
a lot of shit to say that y'all don't
exactly,
know about.
but we all know like Bobby was being abused by Nick. We all know this, but I believe
But did he
so.
kill her?
I believe like let me just say this a theory. I just feel like if Bobby believed her mother was gone the same way, I would have believed she would have done the same thing too. But I feel
It was
like
too convenient for me.
it was too convenient knowing that it's the same death because at
And
the same
again, face down in a bathtub with shit in her
right
system.
and
Like
correction
y'all could
like
have been more creative.
right and you know what's crazy the allegations like when it comes to Whitney's that like she was being beat up and like it wasn't the same for Bobby. So I'm like, what can I choose and what can I believe so? Because I believe if Bobby believes that the way her mother passed away, she gonna do the same way. But at the same time, I don't even know at this point because think about it, like I want to believe it, but I don't. I
And
just
it's
believe
different when I
that
see that Whitney and Bobby, like I heard the Bobby was hitting Whitney thing too. The only difference is I think that Whitney wouldn't play that shit as much as Bobby would.
I just feel like Whitney and
Whitney would have been
Bobby.
like Brenda when she beats up Jigsaw when he slaps her and she's like, "Have you lost your mind? Nobody pimp slaps Brenda." Like that's the energy I think Whitney would give with Bobby. I feel like because she didn't really have anyone like that. I mean, she had her dad, but like she didn't have her dad. So I feel like
Yes,
with that, and because she grew up with this man, I feel like there was also a sense of with Nick Gordon. I think there was a little mental grooming.
yes. I just feel like
A
they
little
lost.
grooming.
I
Y'all know
feel
what I
like
mean? There was grooming because he
I
came
just
in the
feel
place at 12 and Bobby was still younger. So grooming people. So I feel like with Bobby, I feel like she would have let Nick beat her ass as
I just
opposed
feel
to
like
Whitney
yeah.
not dealing with it. Because Bobby and Whitney got divorced. I don't think Miss Bobby Christina would
I
have left Nick Gordon like Whitney did.
I just feel like Nick lost his ever loving mind because things about it. Like I believe Nick was like accused for all that because none that. Let me just say
And
this.
now that mom is gone, he was trying to run the show.
And the thing about the show was not running without Bobby or the family. Nick wasn't the tea of the day because
Exactly.
Bobby
Because at
and
the end of the day,
Whitney
all
was
that
the
shit
tea of
was
the day.
going to
Let's talk about
Bobby.
it, honey.
All that shit was all Whitney's money was going to Bobby Christina. It wasn't going to you, Nick.
No, it wasn't, and they made it very
So
clear
he had
because
to keep that hoe around. Excuse me, I don't
exactly.
mean hoe as in she's a hoe. I'm talking street. Sorry.
Yes, you're fine. You're fine. I
I'm
just
saying
feel
for the viewers.
yes, I know, and you know, I just love this because knowing that really digging deep about Miss Whitney Houston and
V.
Miss Bobby Christina. I just feel like after all this, I feel like justice wasn't served the